Okay, I already recorded this once. Hopefully, second time is the charm because it crashed the first time. All right, I thought today that we'd go through creating up a custom report type and an example of why you might want to do that. All right, so let's look at this contact that I just created named Frederick. You can see he has not been associated with an account. So this is common, at least in my instance of Salesforce. So if I were to try and build a report that includes everybody, so let me look at the report types of contacts. I have these 4 options here. These 3 don't make sense, so I'm just going to go contacts with accounts. And if I go to the filters and loosen it all up, so all accounts, created all time, I'll run that, you can see that Frederick is not in this list. Lots of other fake people, but not Frederick. All right. So I need a new report type in order to build reports that would pull him in. So this is in setup, and I search for report types. You can continue through this, and I'm going to create a new custom report type. The primary object is going to be contacts, obviously. And I'm going to name this contacts with or without accounts because it shows all contacts, right? And I'm going to store it in the accounts and contacts category. Now, when you're building report types, you can leave them in development as you make them the way you want so that nobody else sees them. I'm just going to automatically make it deployed. So if it was deployed, anybody in the org now can see it. All right. Now here's you define what kind of records you want pulled in. Right now, I'm for this report, I'm just going to leave it because I only want contacts and I want all contacts. There might be a case when you're building other report types though where you'd want a different object. So let's look at this. If you were to add, let's say contacts with their opportunities, right? Now I have a couple options. I can either make it so that I want a report that'll show me contacts who definitely have an opportunity associated with them. You can see in this diagram here that this is grayed out and these would be the ones that I would get. Or I want a report where they may or may not have an opportunity tied to them. And then so I'd get all contacts whether they have opportunities or not. But for my case, I don't need that, so I'm going to get rid of it and save. All right, so the report type is now set up, and in theory, I'd be good to go, but we probably want to configure it a little bit. So this would just take you back to the relationships. But the fields available in this layout is something we need to look at. Okay, so as you add new custom fields, which you likely will do, they don't automatically, in my experience, they don't automatically get added to these reports. So you have to come back into these custom report types and add them. And so I don't have anything that's not added, but if you had new fields here that weren't added to the report, they'd be in this olive color. And all you'd have to do is click, drag them over, and they'd be added. Also, when you run a report for the first time, there's always like default columns and fields included, right? You configure that here. So you can see by this check mark that full name right now is the only field that will be default shown in the report. So I'm going to add a couple more. I'm going to add account just because I want to see whether or not they do have an account. You double click on that. This window pops up. Check by default there and hit OK. Let's add the email address. Come on. And we'll do one more, their title. Nice. All right, let's save. And now we can come back here and try and build a report. So we'll click new report and we should see our new type in there. If I search contacts with or without accounts, there you are. And if I do my filters again, where I want to show all contacts, you can see the wording there is now different because of the objects that we have in here. Created all time. There is Frederick. He is now listed in with all of these other fake people because of those relationships. So again, there's lots of different use cases for these that you'd likely use, but this is this one. So hope that helps.